long before the world sang Total Eclipse of the Heart, before millions of records were sold, before sold-out arenas, and before she became one of the most recognizable voices in rock music. She was simply a young girl, growing up in a small Welsh town. Her name was Gaynor Hopkins. The world would later know her as Bonnie Tyler. She was born on June 8, 1951 in Skewyn, a working-class community in South Wales. Life there was simple, families worked hard, money was often limited, and success usually came only after years of sacrifice. Bonnie grew up in a large family with several brothers and sisters. Her father, Gaynor Hopkins, worked as a coal miner. Coal mining was one of the toughest jobs in Britain. Every morning, thousands of miners disappeared underground for long shifts. The work was dangerous, accidents were common, the pay was enough to survive but rarely enough to become wealthy. Her mother, Elsie Hopkins, looked after the family and worked tirelessly to raise the children. Like many parents of that generation, they believed in discipline, hard work, respect, and earning everything through determination. Luxury simply didn't exist. Every pound mattered. Every purchase was carefully considered. Growing up in this environment taught Gaynor something important. If you wanted a better life, you had to build it yourself. Music entered her life at a very young age. The family often listened to country music, rock and roll, and traditional Welsh songs on the radio. Young Gaynor loved to sing. She sang at home, she sang at school, she sang almost everywhere she went. Friends noticed something unusual. Even before becoming famous, her voice carried enormous power. It wasn't yet the legendary raspy sound the world would later recognize, but it already had emotion, strength, and personality. She dreamed of becoming a professional singer. But dreams alone didn't pay the bills. After leaving school, like many young people from working-class families, she found a regular job. She worked in a grocery store, stacking shelves, serving customers, helping with deliveries. The work was honest, but repetitive. Every day looked almost identical. Inside, she knew she wanted something bigger, something extraordinary. After work, instead of resting, she searched for opportunities to sing. She joined local bands, performed in pubs, small clubs, village events, wedding receptions, community dances. The audiences were small, sometimes only a few dozen people, sometimes a little more. The pay wasn't impressive. Some nights she earned only enough to cover transportation, but she never complained because every performance made her better. Every audience taught her something new. She learned how to control a stage, how to connect with listeners, how to perform confidently even when very few people were watching. Eventually, she joined several local bands, including one called Imagination. The group performed across South Wales, driving from town to town, loading equipment themselves, playing wherever they could find work. Life as a young musician wasn't glamorous. Long drives, late nights, small payments, uncertain schedules, but Gaynor loved every minute. She believed every performance brought her one step closer to her dream. Then opportunity arrived. Talent scouts began visiting local performances looking for new voices. One evening, her powerful performance caught the attention of music professionals. They immediately recognized something unique. Not just another singer, someone with star potential. Before releasing her first professional recordings, another important decision was made. The name Gaynor Hopkins was changed. The music industry wanted something shorter, more memorable, easier for international audiences. She chose the stage name Bonnie Tyler. It sounded strong, simple, and unforgettable. She had no idea that one day that name would appear on millions of records across the world. At this stage, Bonnie Tyler had finally achieved what she had dreamed about for years. She was no longer singing only in small clubs. Music industry executives had noticed her talent. A professional recording contract was signed. For the first time, her dream was becoming a real career. The record company believed Bonnie had something special. She possessed powerful vocals, natural stage presence, and the determination to outwork almost anyone. Producers immediately began searching for songs that could introduce her to the world. Recording sessions filled her schedule. She spent long days inside studios, learning microphones, perfecting every note, repeating songs dozens of times until every performance sounded perfect. Nothing was left to chance. Every recording was treated as an investment. Because in the music business, one successful single can change an artist's entire life. Then something completely unexpected happened. Bonnie developed problems with her vocal cords. Doctors discovered vocal nodules, small growths caused by constant singing and strain. If ignored, they could permanently damage her voice. The advice was clear: she needed surgery. For any singer, those words are terrifying. Her voice wasn't simply part of her career, it was her career. Without it, everything she had worked for could disappear. Bonnie decided to take the risk. She underwent surgery on her vocal cords. The operation was successful, but doctors gave her one very important instruction. She had to remain completely silent while her voice healed. No conversations, no singing, no shouting, only complete vocal rest. It sounded simple, but for someone whose entire life revolved around music, it was incredibly difficult. Unfortunately, Bonnie made one mistake. Before her voice had fully recovered, she spoke too soon. She ignored part of the recovery process. The result shocked everyone. When her voice returned, it sounded completely different, lower, rougher, much raspier. At first, she feared her career was over. This wasn't the voice she had before surgery. She believed the damage might be permanent. Many singers would have panicked. Some might even have quit, but Bonnie decided to try something different. Instead of fighting her new voice, she embraced it. Producers immediately noticed something extraordinary. That raspy voice sounded unlike anyone else. It was emotional, powerful, unforgettable. Within seconds, people could recognize it. What Bonnie first believed was a disaster became her greatest advantage. Sometimes life changes our plans, only later do we realize it changed them for the better. With her new signature sound, Bonnie returned to the recording studio. In 1976, she released one of her first major singles, Lost in France. The song quickly attracted attention. Radio stations across Britain began playing it. Listeners loved her unique voice. Music critics praised her emotional delivery. The single climbed the charts in the United Kingdom. Soon other European countries followed. For the first time, Bonnie Tyler became an international recording artist. The success continued. Her debut album introduced millions of listeners to her unmistakable voice. Record sales increased. Television appearances multiplied. Interview requests arrived almost daily. Concert promoters wanted her on stage. She suddenly found herself traveling across Europe, England, France, Germany, the Netherlands, Scandinavia. Every successful performance brought larger audiences, larger venues, and larger paychecks. Only a short time earlier, she had been working in a grocery store. Now she was earning more money from a single concert than she once earned in months. The music business was finally rewarding years of sacrifice. Record royalties began arriving. Concert fees increased. Television performances paid appearance fees. Merchandise sales slowly grew. For the first time in her life, Bonnie Tyler achieved real financial stability. She could help her family, invest in her future, and focus entirely on music. The record company quickly realized they had discovered something valuable. Bonnie wasn't simply another pop singer. She had a voice that people never forgot. Every new single strengthened her reputation. Every tour expanded her fan base. Every successful performance increased her commercial value. Music magazines began calling her one of Britain's brightest new stars. Industry executives predicted even greater success. Still, nobody could imagine what was coming next, because Bonnie Tyler was about to meet a songwriter whose music would change her career forever. A man famous for creating dramatic, powerful, epic songs. His name was Jim Steinman. Together they would create one of the greatest power ballads in music history. A song that would sell millions of records, generate millions of dollars, and make Bonnie Tyler a global superstar. Its name was Total Eclipse of the Heart. By the early 1980s, Bonnie Tyler had already become a successful recording artist. She had hit songs, a loyal fan base, international tours, and a voice unlike anyone else in music. But success wasn't enough. She wanted something bigger, a song that could reach the entire world, a song that would define her career forever. At the same time, one of the music industry's most brilliant songwriters was searching for the perfect voice. His name was Jim Steinman. Steinman was already famous for creating dramatic, emotional, cinematic rock songs. He had worked with legendary artists such as Meat Loaf. His production sounded larger than life, massive orchestras, powerful choirs, explosive rock arrangements, songs that felt like movies. When Jim Steinman first heard Bonnie Tyler's raspy voice, he immediately knew she was different. He believed her voice could bring extraordinary emotion to his music. Soon the two began working together. Inside the recording studio, perfection became the only goal. Every note mattered, every lyric mattered, every instrument had to create emotion. The recording sessions lasted for weeks. Musicians, engineers, backing vocalists, producers, everyone worked tirelessly to create something unforgettable. Then the masterpiece arrived, its title Total Eclipse of the Heart. From the very first piano notes, the song sounded different from everything on the radio. It slowly built tension, then exploded into one of the most powerful choruses in music history. Bonnie's emotional performance transformed the lyrics into something unforgettable. Listeners around the world felt every word. When the single was released in 1983, the response was immediate. Radio stations played it constantly, record stores struggled to keep copies in stock. Television programs invited Bonnie to perform. Music critics praised both the song and her extraordinary vocal performance. Within weeks, Total Eclipse of the Heart became a global phenomenon. The song reached no. 1 in the United Kingdom, then no. 1 in the United States. It also topped charts in Canada, Australia, Norway, Sweden, Ireland, and numerous other countries. Millions of people were singing the same song. The world had discovered Bonnie Tyler. The single sold millions upon millions of copies. Over the decades, combined physical sales, digital downloads, and streaming have reached audiences of tens of millions around the world. It became one of the most successful power ballads ever recorded. Even decades later, the song continues, generating millions of streams every year. For Bonnie, everything changed almost overnight. Her income skyrocketed. Record royalties increased dramatically. Every album sold generated additional revenue. Every radio broadcast produced royalty payments. Every television appearance brought new opportunities. Concert promoters competed to book her. Instead of performing in small theaters, she began filling massive arenas. Stadiums, international festivals, world tours followed. Europe, North America, South America, Asia, Australia. Fans traveled hundreds of kilometers just to hear her perform live. Every sold-out concert and significant performance fees. Merchandise sales grew rapidly. T-shirts, posters, albums, tour programs. Everything bearing Bonnie Tyler's name became valuable. The success of one song transformed her entire business. Record labels invested heavily in future albums. Sponsors wanted partnerships. Television networks offered lucrative appearances. Major award shows invited her to perform. The music industry now viewed Bonnie Tyler as an international superstar. Her albums began selling across every continent. Millions of records left factories. Gold certifications, platinum certifications, multi-platinum awards, one after another. By the mid-1980s, Bonnie Tyler had sold tens of millions of records worldwide. Her music generated enormous income through multiple sources: album sales, single sales. Most people know Bonnie Tyler because of her unforgettable voice, but very few realize she also built an incredibly successful music business. Long after her biggest hits left the charts, the money kept coming, because hit songs never truly stop earning. By the mid-1980s, Bonnie Tyler was no longer simply a singer. She had become an international brand. Every successful album increased her reputation. Every tour expanded her audience. Every new country added millions of potential fans. Over the course of her career, Bonnie sold more than 20 million records worldwide. Albums, singles, greatest hits collections, box sets, and later digital downloads. Each sale generated income, not only from record companies but also from royalty agreements. The bigger the sales, the larger the payments. Her concerts became another enormous source of income. Unlike many artists who tour only for a few years, Bonnie Tyler continued performing around the world for decades. Europe, North America, Australia, South America, Asia, the Middle East, music festivals, arena concerts, television specials, private events, corporate performances. Every appearance generated performance fees. Some concerts paid tens of thousands of dollars. Large festivals often paid even more. During successful touring years, concert revenue became one of her biggest income streams. But perhaps the smartest part of her business came from something many fans never think about: royalties. Every time one of her songs plays, money is generated. When Total Eclipse of the Heart is played on the radio, royalties. When it is streamed on Spotify, royalties. Apple Music, Amazon Music, Deezer, YouTube Music, royalties. When someone buys the song digitally, royalties. When television stations broadcasted, royalties. When restaurants or shopping malls legally play the music performance, royalties. When another artist records a cover version, publishing, royalties. The song continues earning money even while Bonnie is sleeping. That is the power of owning successful music. Even decades after its release, Total Eclipse of the Heart remains one of the most streamed classic songs from the 1980s. Millions of people discover it every year: young listeners, older fans, people hearing it for the very first time. Streaming platforms introduced Bonnie Tyler to entirely new generations. The digital age created another income stream: millions of YouTube views, official music videos, live performances, concert recordings, interviews. Every legal stream contributes to long-term revenue. Her songs also became valuable for licensing. Movie producers wanted emotional scenes. Television series needed unforgettable soundtracks. Commercial advertisers searched for recognizable classics. Total Eclipse of the Heart appeared in films, television shows, documentaries, reality programs, comedy sketches, talent competitions, advertisements. Each license generated additional payments. Sometimes companies paid significant fees simply for the right to use one song. Bonnie's music became valuable intellectual property. Instead of creating income only once, it generated revenue repeatedly. Year after year, decade after decade, television appearances added even more earnings. She became a regular guest on international television, music competitions, award ceremonies, holiday specials, talk shows, anniversary concerts. These appearances increased both her popularity and her income. Meanwhile, her catalog of classic songs kept growing in value. Music publishing companies understand something important: great songs become long-term assets. Unlike many products, they rarely lose all their value. A great song recorded 40 years ago can still earn money today. Sometimes it becomes even more valuable as new generations discover it. Bonnie also made careful financial decisions. Instead of living only for luxury, she invested in property and managed her wealth conservatively. More than 4 decades have passed since Bonnie Tyler first walked into a recording studio. The music industry has changed. Vinyl records became cassette tapes. Cassette tapes became CDs. CDs became digital downloads. Digital downloads became streaming. Thousands of artists appeared. Thousands disappeared. But one voice continued to be recognized almost instantly: Bonnie Tyler. As today, she is remembered as far more than the singer of one famous song. She became one of the most recognizable female rock vocalists in music history. Her voice is impossible to confuse with anyone else's. One sentence, one chorus, one note, and millions of listeners immediately know who is singing. That is something very few artists ever achieve. Many singers possess beautiful voices. Only a handful possess unforgettable voices. Bonnie Tyler became one of them. Looking back, her journey almost seems unbelievable. A young woman from a working-class family in Wales whose father spent long days working underground in coal mines, who worked in a grocery store, who sang in tiny clubs after work, eventually stood on some of the biggest stages in the world. She sold more than 20 million records worldwide, performed thousands of concerts, earned millions of dollars through music, built a career spanning more than 40 years, and inspired generations of singers. What makes her story extraordinary is that the turning point almost looked like the end. When doctors told Bonnie she needed surgery on her vocal cords, she feared everything was over. After the operation, her voice changed forever. It became rough, raspy, unlike anything she had before. At first, she believed something precious had been taken away. Instead, life had given her something priceless. The voice she feared became the voice the entire world would remember. Sometimes our greatest strength hides inside what we believe is our greatest weakness. That lesson reaches far beyond music. Many people spend years trying to hide what makes them different. Bonnie Tyler embraced it. and that decision changed her life forever. Her success also demonstrates another important truth: one hit song may create fame, but only consistency creates a legacy. Bonnie continued recording albums, continued touring, continued performing, continued respecting her audience. Long after many artists from the 1980s disappeared, she remained active. Her concerts continued selling tickets. Her songs continued receiving millions of streams. New generations discovered her music through streaming platforms, movies, television, social media, and YouTube. Every year someone hears Total Eclipse of the Heart for the very first time. That is the sign of timeless music. Financially, her career also became an example of long-term success. Instead of earning money only during one successful year, her music continued generating royalties decade after decade. Albums, concert tours, licensing, streaming, television, publishing. Every part of her catalog continued creating income. Her songs became assets. Her voice became a brand. Her name became part of music history. Today, Bonnie Tyler is respected not only for her commercial success but for her resilience. She overcame obstacles, ignored critics, adapted to changes in the music industry, and never stopped performing. Many artists become famous, very few remain relevant across multiple generations. Bonnie Tyler accomplished exactly that. Her story reminds us that success is rarely a straight line. Sometimes life changes your plans, sometimes unexpected challenges appear. Sometimes the very thing that seems to destroy your dream actually becomes the reason the world remembers you forever. The girl from Wales who once believed her damaged voice had ended her career eventually transformed that unique sound into a worldwide brand worth millions. Her legacy is not simply a collection of hit songs, it is proof that courage, persistence,